Today we are going to focus on study abroad in Thailand, Leiden, and Geneva. We are really excited because we have some fantastic presenters today from these different campus locations. So we have Stephen Barry from our Thailand campuses. We've got Kristen Benninger from our Leiden campus in the Netherlands. And then we have Gael Babulas from our Geneva, Switzerland campus. So I will be turning over things to them throughout this presentation today. But we can go to the next slide. Just have one more thing to say. So this is a session that's focused on our Webster International campuses. So we are really unique as an institution in the sense that we have our own network of international campuses. So these are very much part of our institution, part of our our identity as an institution, that we do have these locations worldwide that are their own campuses in themselves, and they are part of our global network. So this is a really fantastic asset, we think, to our institution and to our student body. And it allows you the opportunity to study abroad without having to leave Webster. And you're really supported throughout the entire process, not just by your home university, but also by your host university. And I just wanted to mention some common characteristics of our international campuses. So they are quite a bit smaller than the main campus in St. Louis. So the largest international campus has about 500 students. They do offer both undergrad and graduate level programs. Courses are taught primarily in English, although the campuses do offer coursework in the local language as well. And then they do have fall, spring, and summer options available, and also terms within the semester. So if you wanted to go for fall 2 or spring 2, that would be a possibility. So there's a lot of flexibility with the time of year that you can go on an international program campus. And they do offer a number of degrees in full that are similar to what's offered in the US. So things like international relations, psychology, media studies, business administration, management. Those are some common degrees that are offered in full. And then of course, there's other courses in various disciplines as well. So that's just a quick word about what international campuses are, how they're structured. Now what I wanted to do is go ahead and turn things over to our first speaker from the Thailand campus, and that's Stephen Barry. So Stephen, do you want to go ahead and take it away?
Sure. Thank you very much, Kelly. And thank you, Tyler, for setting up this opportunity to speak with potential study abroad students across the network. As Kelly mentioned, I mean, this is a really unique situation in that Webster University's global network really provides an opportunity for students to experience other cultures, other countries, other nationalities, meanwhile maintaining the exact same curriculum that's required for graduation. As students, we are all here for the same ultimate goal at the end of the day, and that's to provide academic excellence. So first of all, my name is Stephen Barry, and I'm currently serving as the Director for Academic Affairs here at the Webster University Thailand campus. I've been here at Webster for 9 years. And I've been here in Thailand for the last 14 years. I am half Thai, half American, but I was born in Nairobi, Kenya, and I did not move back to the United States until I was the age of 17. And so that experience for me was tremendous, just to get international experience. Experiencing different cultures, experiencing different scholastic modalities to a certain degree. So when I joined Webster 9 years ago, I realized that there's a very unique opportunity here, and the model that we've created presents amazing opportunities for you, whether you're in North America or the Americas, whether you're in Europe, whether you're here in Asia. You know, this is just an excellent opportunity. So in any sense, I will say in Thai, Sawadee Hap. Good morning to those of you in the Americas. Good afternoon to those of you in Europe, or good evening rather, and a very late evening here in Thailand, where it's currently about 10 p.m. at night. So it's a pleasure to be here, Kelly, and thank you so much for the opportunity. If we could just go over to the next slide, I could, yeah. So as you may know, Thailand is situated in the southeast of Asia. We opened up our main campus in 1999. Shortly thereafter, we opened up a branch campus in the capital of Thailand in Bangkok. Our main campus in Cha'am is currently situated about 3 hours car drive south west of the capital city. So there's a bit of a stark difference between our campus in Bangkok versus that here in Cha'am, and we can discuss that in a little bit more detail later. But we currently have anywhere between, as Kelly mentioned, 350 to 400 students at any given point, and we host an array of different academic programs that can be easily accessed. I won't go into too much detail right now, but that can be easily accessed through our website. So in terms of the Bangkok campus, which was opened a few years after our main location, primarily we opened that to cater more towards our master's students. And so that includes both our Masters of Business Administration program as well as our Masters of International Relations. Bangkok is a metropolitan city. There are so many companies, so many opportunities available to students here, whether it be by way of internships or just personal connections throughout the board. It is, you know, it's bigger than New York City by population. It's a great place to be. It's bustling. It's very international, and it's quite remarkable for those of you who may not have had the chance to visit Bangkok in Thailand. Cha'am, on the other hand, is locally a very popular beach destination for both Thais alike, as well as tourists or foreigners coming into the country. The campus, as you may have seen through pictures, or you will see later, it's very tropical. It's situated off in the middle of a pineapple field / sugarcane field, and very close to the ocean. And it is very picturesque. And again, very, very close to our Bangkok location as well. So we follow the exact same curriculum as that of the worldwide network. So again, I heard a question earlier about a student asking if I'm not majoring in a particular subject matter, will I still be able to take advantage of those opportunities? The beauty about the curriculum at Webster University is that we have things like the Global Citizenship Program, as you all know about. We have the free elective options. So we really do encourage students to take advantage of that interdisciplinary mix of formal and non-formal education. It really extends beyond learning to the real world. And what I mean by that is not just the knowledgeable skill sets that are necessary to succeed in this 21st century work environment, but the necessary transferable skills. So we try and instill students components such as written communication, oral communication, intercultural competence, for example, is something that a student would be well capable of taking advantage of by living in some place like Thailand, whether it be for 16 weeks or 8 weeks in the graduate level. We try and incorporate those experiential components into a lot of our courses, such as topics and culture, Thai ways, introduction to Buddhism. Thailand is a primarily Buddhist country. Temple explorations. Student affairs is involved in terms of setting up jungle and island treks. We bring in some very famous guest speakers throughout the region, not just within Thailand, but throughout Southeast Asia, as well as ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations as well. Student Affairs does an excellent job of sponsoring cultural events, portfolio creations, independent studies, and many more components that contribute towards that worldwide experience. And if you're a fan of spicy food, I know there are Thai restaurants that probably outnumber McDonald's at this point in certain parts of the USA, but if you're into spicy food, this is the place to be. Additionally, as Kelly and as Tyler mentioned before, due to the current travel restrictions in Thailand, it's quite difficult to get in and out at the moment, but we do anticipate that travel restrictions will be lightened up shortly. But we are a stone's throw away from Siem Reap, Angkor Wat, Vientiane, Ayutthaya, the original capital of Thailand, all the way down to Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur. It's just amazing the amount of access that you have towards international travel. On top of international travel throughout the region, ASEAN, Thailand itself hosts an array of domestic sites that are really quite remarkable. Anything from the mountains in Chiang Mai in North Thailand to the beaches of Phuket or Hua Hin, where we are, to Koh Samui, anywhere down to the southern region. You'll see a very diverse range of opportunities available to you within the country itself. So again, as Kelly mentioned, we follow the exact same curriculum. We follow the exact same model. You'll never see a class size over 25. There was a particular class not too long ago. It had 12 or 13 students registered for it, and every single one of those students came from a different country. And we found that quite remarkable. The majority of our students come from neighboring countries such as Myanmar, Burma, or Vietnam, China, Nepal. But then again, we do have a large contingency of students who actually come from the United States itself. So again, the courses are really tailored towards the local culture, the environment, that includes the experiential components as explained. We have students ranging from over 50 different nationalities, as previously explained, and all of our faculty are very well qualified to teach the courses involved in the curriculum. So as well as following local accreditation standards, as well as those in St. Louis and the United States. And with that, I think I'm going to try and keep it short. I don't know if I went over, but if you have any further questions at any point regarding any particulars when it comes to travel to Thailand, when it comes to visa issues or registration issues, please feel free to reach out. I want to mention that on the call right now, we have Mr. Ruben Ganeshu. He is our site registrar for the Thailand campus. The Office of Academic Affairs oversees the study abroad opportunities available to us. But if there are any questions, Ruben, if you would, please go ahead and just include in the chat registrar@webster.ac.th should you have any further inquiries. And with that, Kelly and Tyler, thank you very much again for this opportunity, and stay in touch.
Wonderful. Thanks, Stephen. That was a wonderful overview. And hi, Ruben. So now we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Christine Benninger from the Leiden campus.
Okay, hi. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Super. Well, it's great to be here. Thank you. And thanks to all my colleagues stateside and, actually across the globe. So it's great to see some of you. And also, I've been listening in since the start, and it's really nice to hear about the other campuses as well. So, but of course, I'm here to talk about Leiden. And yeah, I probably could talk about hours, but I would talk about Leiden for hours, but I won't. A few things that I think are the most important things about Leiden that you should know as a student thinking about study abroad is, all of our campuses, of course, everything is taught in English. And when you go to Europe or, Asia and Africa, your campus life is, based in English. And I have to say in Leiden, so is the community. So not only does everyone speak English, but they really love to speak English. So you never have that true, culture shock of being here and not being understood or being misunderstood. I have to say that the Leideners and also Holland in general, they're very welcoming to students. You can be out and about. Leiden's a small city, but it's a very student-y college town, and there's a lot of social scenes. We also have, we're the capital city of museums in the Netherlands, so there's 13 wonderful museums from Rembrandt. We have the Seibold House, which is a Japanese museum, to the Pilgrim Museum. So there's quite a lot to do within Leiden. Which Leiden you can get from one side of the city, 15 minutes, to the other side, another 15 minutes. So we are really small. Most of those people in Leiden travel by bicycle. So it's very green here. You do see cars because we're so small, but it's very green. The students rent bicycles. We everything is easy, walkable. So you don't really have to worry about taking taxis or worry about the bus, although we have great bus and tram transportation. We're so close to Amsterdam and The Hague. It's just about half hour from The Hague, maybe 20 minutes actually, and 30 minutes to Amsterdam. We're so close. The airport to get anywhere else in Europe is only itself about a half hour stop from Leiden. So you can, it's a great European country to get almost everywhere that you would like to see. We have inexpensive air trips to, if you want to go to the UK or if you wanted to go to Vienna. Now I speak as, normal when we're all face-to-face and Corona wasn't here, but still the students are getting out places. They're just being safe and they're traveling quite a bit now, as well as they can. So I really love Leiden for its location. We're just really conveniently located. Our campus is on a beautiful canal. I'm sure you've seen some pictures. We have our student dorms only 100 steps away, but yet it's in a totally different part. It has its own canal, its own courtyard, the student housing. We have single and double rooms. They also, there's free Wi-Fi, free laundry services. So we really keep you close, but yet it's like being, I guess our campus is the city. So you're close, but yet you're far. I have a bunch of keywords there. Yeah, that's okay. But the beach is 30 minutes away. So you could be on a canal, you could be, visiting the beach in 30 minutes, or you could be, on an air flight, going to Vienna or Geneva or Bruges or what have you very quickly. You can go ahead. I just have a few photos. As you can see, Leiden, here's our campus. There on the canal with the boat. The students here in this photo are actually on the top of the Peterskirk, which is the church that the Pilgrims worshipped when they lived in Leiden. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but before the Pilgrims set sail, and they did set sail from the UK to America. However, before that, they had come to Holland, and they had lived in Amsterdam, thought Amsterdam was a little too strict for them, believe it or not, and they moved to Leiden. So they lived here for quite some time. Some of those pilgrims, they're buried here in Leiden before they were able to make it back to the UK, where then they set sail to the States. So we have a pilgrim museum, we have the Peterskirk, and we take the students on various tours around. The other picture is our dorms. So I mentioned a little bit about the dorms. It's so close, and as well as it has everything that you need, and the efficiency apartments, but Leiden itself, lots of snack shops, lots of restaurants. Quality of life is very good here. Quality of food is very good. The Dutch don't really have a cuisine, let me say, but they love international cooking. So you will find anything from French, Thai. It's probably not as good as Stevens, but you can find Indonesian, you can find, yeah, you name it, we have it. And if it's not in Leiden, of course, it could be in any of the major cities really close by. I have with me too, online, I have two students, Anushka and Gold, who are actually student leaders on campus. They're department assistants, and if we want to get a take from, if you have any questions for them, please ask. Let's see, what is my next slide do I have? Oh yeah, the social experience, which I'm sure that they could give you a lot of information on this that I possibly couldn't from a student's perspective, but we have a lot of organizations on campus that are very involved. From Green Web to the Psychology Association to our International Business Club. We have a lot going on. The 3 European campuses, that's Vienna, Geneva, and Leiden, we celebrate every year. We travel to a different campus in spring, and we put on a soccer tournament, as well as a Webster's Got Talent and a Student Government Association meeting. So among the other presentations and guest speakers and activities on campus, we also work together with the European campuses. Our leadership program, the Webster Leads, is also now in fall going to meet together with the 2 other European campuses for a retreat. So right now things aren't exactly normal, but they will become normal once, I'm sure, soon. And you can count on these experiences from Leiden. Anushka, maybe you would like to talk a little bit about the MUN club that we have and the IR club?
Yeah, that's definitely. So we have, I'm the, Anushka, sorry, I need to introduce myself. I'm the department assistant for the IR department, the International Relations Department. And as part of my job, I am the president of the IR club as well as the MUN club. So the IR club basically and the MUN club are both under the framework of the International Relations Department, but you can be any major and join. The IR club focuses on hosting debates and on-campus activities to visit some of the big international organizations in the Netherlands, because we have The Hague right nearby. So we have the ICC nearby, the ICJ, and the Peace Palace, which are all very interesting places to visit if you're interested in those things. MUN, I'm not sure if any of you students are familiar with MUN. It is basically a debate forum where you represent a country and you debate a certain issue and solutions to those issues. And so as those clubs, we like to include you into talking about current events, or just even talking about any international organizations, or debating about things you might be interested in. But we, along with the IR club and MUN club, we have a lot of events that we host on campus as well. And it's very inclusive. If you're not an IR major, it doesn't matter. You can still come by and check it out. So if you would be interested, that's one of the options for clubs that you have if you were to study abroad at Webster Leiden.
Great. And how am I doing on time? Can I go a little further?
Yeah, you're fine. Sure.
Okay, great. So I also have Gold here, who is very interested in studying abroad, but she happens to be the business department assistant. And maybe Gold, you would like to talk a little bit about your classes that are on campus and online.
Okay, hi, my name is Gold. I've been asking a lot of questions. I'm just really Yeah. Okay. The classes, it's really amazing how Webster has kind of how Webster Leiden campus has been able to integrate the hybrid system. Because I have a couple of friends in typical Dutch schools, and they are still very much online. It's the classes are really compact, but it's great. We have a few of people at home, and we can all interact, and it's really nice. The classes are really spaced. I have 2 lectures per week, and gives me enough time to do extra study, do extra stuff. I'm a graduate student, so do extra stuff, and just it's really nice. And I love the lecturers, of course. They are really, I think they are the best. I have really amazing professors. Hands-on experience. They share all of their knowledge, bring experienced people to come, real life. I mean, the business department, of course, they bring real life business owners, people that have really made it big to discuss with us, and we have a feel of what it is we are really doing. It's not just theoretical, and it doesn't just end in the classroom. And as I've said, the hybrid method is really working. I hated it during the strictly online classes. It was terrible. My attention span is really low, so I don't know how I passed the semester, but I did. But with the hybrid system, I'm glad Leiden has been able to really make it work, and it's everybody gives positive feedbacks about it. So you should be in Leiden, actually. Yeah.
Great. I paid them to say that. No. So of course, Leiden, just like all the other campuses, our curriculum is very similar. We offer, 4 programs: international relations. We have the business department. We have our media programming now, as well as psychology. So the graduate programs, we do a psychology emphasis in counseling, as well as the other 3. So it's very similar, but the classes are smaller. Our buildings are smaller. We're very compact as far as how the vicinity from where everything is. But I do say the positive side of that, along with just being small and just being comfortable, is that the students really get to know each other, and it's more of a family. So you don't have little sections of students or little cliques and that kind of thing. The students really get together, and when they're doing their academics or social interactions, you really, everyone, seems to get along very well. So we're really proud of that here at the Leiden campus. But I won't take up more time because I'm sure you have questions, and we'll save it for the end of the session.
Great, thanks, Christine. And thank you, Gold and Anushka, for giving your perspective as students at the Leiden campus. Very, very helpful and informative. Great, so we will move on to our 3rd campus that we're going to talk about today. So that is Geneva, Switzerland. So I'm going to turn things over to my colleague, Gaëlle Babalas, and it looks like she's got some colleagues with her in Geneva. So go ahead and turn it over to you guys. So thank you.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Bonjour. So yes, my name is Gaëlle Babalas. I'm currently the Director of Student Affairs at the Webster University Geneva campus. I've been working in the field of student services and study abroad programs for almost 15 years now at the Geneva campus. And yes, I'll be giving you a presentation about the Geneva campus with my colleague Will McDonald, Director of Admissions. So, and actually,
should I start with the
will you start
next slide?
With the next slide, please?
Sure. Hi, we thought, good morning, good afternoon, and evening, everyone. We thought just to begin the presentation with why would you want to consider studying in Switzerland? First, the country is really an amazing, diverse place if you're looking to explore languages. We in Geneva are in the Francophone part of the country, but there's a German-speaking part of Switzerland, and also in the south, there's an Italian part of the country. What's incredible about Switzerland as well is that English is the common denominator across the country. So very often people, when they're traveling, even local Swiss people, when they're traveling around the region, will use English as their common language to speak as they move around. which makes it much easier for study abroad students. And I think you're hearing that consistently. All of our campuses find ways to make it easy for you to study in English. Of course, Switzerland, you'll see from the photos that we have here, they're all taken in our local area. We have, you know, pristine nature. You remember, of course, as soon as you think of Switzerland, the Alps, the lakes and the vineyards. And Switzerland being known for a safe place and a high standard of living, it makes it very convenient for students coming abroad. I think it's also very convenient to convince parents to allow you to study abroad rather than perhaps in cities of 10 or 15 million people. It's a very, very intimate country and region. One of the national prides that Switzerland has is its local train system. We have trains that run on time. The Swiss clocks, as you know, are also quite famous Swiss watches. And because of the train system, you can access even remote mountain villages through public transportation. It means that you can get around throughout the country, very different than where I'm from back in the US. Everything is accessible, public transportation, very convenient and easy to use. And Switzerland, of course, being known as a country of strong social progress, everyone is welcome here. We have a long tradition of internationalism. I'll move quickly to talk about why Geneva in particular, which is my home now for about 10 years. I'm originally from New York area. And Geneva has around 40% of the population is not from Switzerland. So imagine almost half of the people you meet on the streets are from another country around the world. That tradition's a long-standing tradition because of trade and so on. But in particular, the last 100 years or so, with the establishment of the humanitarian Red Cross, the humanitarian affairs tradition, Geneva became home of the United Nations, of course, the hub of Europe for the UN. So it means that we have a very, very strong tradition of internationalism. As the original home of Calvin, it was also declared an open city for religion even a long, long time ago, hundreds of years back. So we're in the French-speaking part of Switzerland, surrounded by France on 3 sides, which means that if you look in the upper right-hand corner on the slide, you see the Mont Blanc there. You can see that right from campus. The shot was taken from our campus. And you can visit and hop across borders pretty easily. If for any reason you're not able to border hop due to COVID and so forth, even during the confinement, people were able to travel around the country and explore the Italian region and the German region. So they each have a very different cultural feel. Here in Geneva, of course, we have the lakefront. It's very well known as, essentially it's filled with Evian water. Evian is right on Lake Geneva. And we have many festivals throughout the year, whether it's fall, spring, or summer. In the winter, everyone tends to head to the mountains on weekends for skiing and for hiking. So there's plenty to do. Geneva is also the hub of EasyJet, one of the hubs for EasyJet. So we have about 50 destinations each week where students can go, different seasons throughout the year. And within 1 or 2 hours flight, you can be in Paris, Rome, Barcelona, London, and so forth. Very, very convenient. And I'll turn it over to Gail next for the next slide to talk about the campus.
Right, thank you. So yes, our campus, as you can see from this aerial view, is located in a village actually called Bellevue. Bellevue in French means nice view. So, well, good finding. We are a 2-minute walk from the lake, from the beach actually. There's now a possibility to go swimming in the lake, just 2-minute walk from our campus. So we are located in this park-like setting, and the train stop is really at the foot of the campus. It runs every 15 minutes, and it takes you to Geneva in less than 8 minutes. So even though we are in the countryside, we are very close to the city center. The campus itself is very green, and you can walk from one building to another and have lunch at our cafeteria. It's actually a public restaurant, so providing a really fine cuisine. Then we have the student lounge, the fitness, accessible for free 24/7 for all students, even those not living on campus. And so yes, on campus we have also one student residence. We call it the Living and Learning Center. It's usually dedicated for freshman students, but we do welcome study abroad students when they prefer to be on campus for the semester here. Otherwise, we have another larger student residence in the city center of Geneva. It's called the Berge du Rhône. It's a former Rolex factory building with floor-to-ceiling windows. It was renovated just about 10 years ago for our needs. It's really, really beautiful on the River Rhône. You can see from the picture on the right corner. Each unit in this residence offers cooking facilities, whether it's in a private studio or in a suite. The suites are like apartments. Currently, because of the sanitary situation we are in, we offer only single occupancy rooms or studios. So if you have to continue this way, it's easily doable. Concerning security, we have, even though Geneva is a very safe city, we have security on site, whether on campus or at the student residence downtown Geneva. So night guard are on site every night all year round. Also, just to mention accessibility or transportation from the student residence in town to the campus. There's a tram stopping right in front that would take you to the main train station in Geneva, and then you would hop on the original train to come to campus. The commute is can be less than 25 minutes, but we are really connected to the city with the local public transportation, and we encourage students to get a monthly pass that allows students to go on every bus, tram, train, and even the local boats during summer in the whole Geneva area. Next slide, please.
So I'll talk quickly about some of the academic options, and you've heard from our colleagues in Thailand and Leiden. Webster has many of the same majors across the different campuses, which makes it convenient for all of our students, and also, of course, very attractive for those coming from other American campuses or other partner campuses that we have around the world. I'll talk about a few different majors or themes that we cover in Geneva, but I want to begin by mentioning that we do have general electives every semester, courses in French, courses in art history, and so forth. So there's a much broader range than what you might see on the screen there directly. Of course, you've heard from Thailand and Leiden. All of our campuses are a great place to study international relations. That's one of the reasons why Webster chose these locations for our campuses. Here in Geneva, I mentioned it's the home of the United Nations in Europe. It's the largest base of the UN outside of New York, and there are something around 27 or 28,000 employees in the UN district working for various organizations like the Human Rights Council, the High Commission for Refugees, the World Trade Organization, World Health Organization. Of course, many times you see Geneva come into the media, whether it's the Syria negotiations for peace that happened, whether it's things related to COVID and the World Health Organization. It's really a hub of activity for the international affairs community. Many of our students do internships there, and some study abroads have had the opportunity to do internships at the UN in various organizations as well. Generally, they have to plan very far in advance for that, and so we encourage students to reach out early, and some students will stay even for a second semester in order to do an internship. In business, Geneva is also very often the hub of global headquarters for multinationals, the Lake Geneva region, and companies like Nestle, Procter & Gamble, and other big companies set their headquarters for Europe, Middle East, and Africa here in Geneva. That means that for business students, it's also great. It's a hub of banking. We have a lot of guest speakers coming from different organizations, whether it's the luxury industry, whether it's the watch industry, for example. We have just our neighbors next door are one of the luxury watch companies. So a great place to study business. For media majors, photography was actually invented nearby in France, and there's a photography museum here, but there's also a great way to combine cultural photography out in the city with some nature photography up in the mountains. And then finally, psychology, which is the other academic department we're offering here. You know, you're in Switzerland, you're in the home of Carl Jung. There's a Jungian Institute, very famous here, and our academic department in psychology focuses on the psychology of creativity and on social psychology. So variety of different majors that we offer here to complement the programs that you may be studying. If you're looking for courses in your major, we have about 350 or 400 students a year coming through the Geneva campus. So we offer both basic level and upper level courses in these different areas. And then, as I mentioned, a variety of courses in general education, if you're looking to explore whether it's sustainability, as I mentioned, French, art history, and so forth. In the summer in particular, Geneva is a great place, whether you come for just the summer term, or if you want to come for spring and stay for the summer term. We offer courses in art history, and the students go to Basel, to the famous Art Basel event. We have a 3-week course in global governance for students that might want to explore and visit all the different UN agencies. And our psychology department offered a special course on the psychology of sleep, which is an interesting course, an interesting topic to explore. So every semester we offer a big range, and we always post that. You can always learn more about that through the Webster Network, through your study abroad office. The next slide. Great.
Okay, Webster Geneva, as you might have heard, is one of the most diverse by student nationalities among the international campus locations, with up to 90 different nationalities on campus each given semester. So it makes it really easy for you as a study abroad student to integrate into this vibrant student community here at Webster Geneva. You could make the most of your time by attending any of our events or by joining one of the many clubs or associations. Just to name a few, we have a soccer team and club, boarding games, the business club, the ecological club, psychology club, the boxing club is just about to be created. And also, we have one registered non-governmental organization, NGO. It's called the WHA, Webster Humanitarian Association. So it is a student-run NGO that deals with, I mean, they do a lot of fundraising events to help other smaller associations or to help on very specific projects. For example, women in Bosnia or more locally here, working with refugees from Syria or Afghanistan, for example. As a study abroad student, you would be more than welcome to join any of these clubs and associations and to participate in their events, of course. Our SGA, Student Government Association, also organizes many events. For example, just to name a few, we traditionally have a welcome barbecue at the beginning of the fall semester. So with all new students, returning students, student leaders, staff and faculty enjoying barbecue outside on the terrace here. We also have a traditional global Thanksgiving with so many international students bringing food and cooking, traditional recipes from their original countries. Like Christine in Leiden mentioned the soccer tournament and the Webster's Got Talent show. So we have one here locally in Geneva, and the winners are invited to go to the other European campus that will be hosting the European finals. Also, very popular is our Zermatt ski weekend. So that happens every January, end of January, where we would take the train from Geneva, and the train would take us in the Zermatt village directly. where we would spend a weekend enjoying the mountains, skiing, sledding, and clubbing. This is very popular, and we're all looking forward to that. And hopefully this can happen next spring. We'll see how things go. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Gail and Will. We really appreciate so much information on Geneva. It's fantastic.